She packed my bags last night pre-flight. 0 hour, 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high as a kite by then. I miss the earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space. Oh, it's so lonely out here in space. On such a timeless flight. All right. Let's get the show started, man.
Welcome to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I'm happy to be here with you today to speak Ojibwe and learn about the language and culture. Everybody, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture.
Okay, BOOZHOO. And today, I thought I would just kind of start the show up here in the spaceship. I'm going to call Natasha real quick. Boop. Okay, hey, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. Well, hi, NANABOOZHOO. What are you doing? I'm up here in the spaceship. Are you flying up in a spaceship above Earth again? Yeah, I miss the Earth so much. I miss my weenie Moshane. Aw, sweetie. What are you going to do? Are you going to do the show from up there? Nah, I thought I would just kind of... You know what I might do, sweetie? What's that? I'm going to teleport down to the moon. You going to teleport to the moon? Yeah, I'm going to say a little prayer on the moon. Okay. But then I won't be able to get back up here. I'm going to put out some tobacco to the moon, sweetie. Yeah. And then I'll call you up. And could you teleport me home from the moon? Yeah, sure. All right, thanks. Just give me a call when you want me to pick you up. Okay. All right, roger that. Over and out. Over and out. Oh, brother. All right, I'm going to go down to the surface of the moon. Just got to put in the coordinates. All right. And it'll be just me to teleport to the surface of the moon. One to teleport. Oh, come on now. There we go. The moon. What? Oh, you think I needed a space suit? No. They faked all that moon landing stuff. You don't need a space suit when you're standing on the moon. So I'm going to put a little tobacco. In Ojibwe, we call the moon Dibik Gizis. It is the nighttime sun. And we call it sema, or we call it tobacco, a sema. And, you know, culturally, it's kind of our way to offer tobacco before we ask, like a favor of somebody. We'll offer tobacco, you know, to an elder. You offer tobacco, you know, to whatever. Tobacco is a thing we trade in. So I like to kind of start my prayers by offering some tobacco. So I'm going to say, Gitche manado. Otapanan niwi asema. Great Spirit, accept my tobacco. Gitche manado. Taka wituka wishen ando minawe nungom. Great Spirit, please help me to speak well today. I got to talk about kind of a touchy subject, grief. And yesterday, just thinking about my old high school buddies and thinking about some of the people who had passed away, I got choked up on the show. And, you know, I'm not that embarrassed. I'm a little embarrassed to be a strong macho man, weeping on live stream YouTube, but not really all that embarrassed. Anyway, but I want you to help me, if you will, to speak well today. To speak well. Minawe. Ando minawe nungom. To speak well today. Help me. We do kawishin. And, otherwise, miigwech, ka iji, kakina gegu. Thank you for everything. Ape inge. Amen. The moon. The government tells us that they came up here 6 times in 3 years. Without any bathrooms on their spaceships. Whatever. So, that's true. Just look it up. First time NASA ever put a bathroom on a spaceship was a Space Shuttle Challenger. And that blew up. Allegedly. All right, I'm going to go back and start the show. Okay, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. Well, hi, NANABOOZHOO. You ready to come home? Yeah, will you teleport me back to good old Aki, to Mama Aki, Mother Earth? Sure. Hang on, I'm scanning for your coordinates. All right. When to teleport? Make it so, number 1. Okay. Hey there, baby doll. Well, hi. How was the moon? Kind of what you think. Fake. You think the moon is fake? Well, the moon's not fake, but me standing on a gray rock looking out at a blue marble was pretty fake. But I did put out some tobacco and prayed to the Great Spirit. Oh, really? What'd you pray for? Oh, one simple thing. What'd you ask for? Lots and lots of riches. I said, oh, dear Great Spirit, please give me a treasure chest of gold and jewels. I ask only this one humble thing. No. Now I asked him that I speak well today. Well, that's a good thing to ask for. Whatever that means. So how you guys doing? Diane's here, sweetie. BOOZHOO, Diane. Good morning, Diane. And Gwen Carly, the old early bird herself. Early bird Gwen Carly gets the worm. How you guys doing? So, yeah. I don't know. Thought I might as well get up early, talk a little bit about grief relief. Back in the days of the grandfathers, not that long ago. Michael Lyons, the rock star cartoonist. Hey, Ikadon BOOZHOO, Niji. Say hello to the people here. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. Michael Lyons, rock star cartoonist. He wrote a comic book once called Grief Relief. And it was about a little skunk whose grandma died. And he was having a real hard time with it. Let's see, what did I do with that cartoon? Grief, here we go. This is OJIBERISH. There's also a book with the name OJIBERISH. by Michael Lyons. Not to turn this into one big infomercial for Michael's books. But OJIBERISH is a collection of OJIBERISH cartoons. And this is an illustration, I think, is probably in this comic book. Osita Wendam is to be sorrowful, to be sad, to have grief. Osita Wendam, be sad and sorrowful, grief. Oh, here's another word. These are your Ojibwe words of the day. Zagichi Gade. They're actually more like Zagichi. Zagichi Gade. Beloved. The difference between okay, so grief relief talks about the stages of grief or whatever. It's kind of a comic book for kids that just kind of at least talks about, oh, this is kind of what to expect. Because you see, the thing is, with Osi Wendam, with deep sorrow, grief is more than just sadness. Sadness is kind of like a... Today we're going to talk about Gage Ningashgaindamoan, healing my sadness. Ningashgaindamoan, Gashgaindam means sad too. Gashgaindamoan is like the language of sadness. Ningashgaindamoan is my sadness. And so today I want to talk about healing my sadness. Oh, I'm such a miserable wretch, sweetie. Are you sad? Yeah. I got grief. Good grief. I need some grief relief. Oh, so anyway, so grief relief. Little skunk loses his grandma. She starts her journey. And now he finds himself sorrowful. Because the thing with grief, the difference between grief and sadness can just be general, you're just a sad person. Depression. Grief isn't depression. Those are two different things. Sometimes your grief can bring on a depression. But even a happy person can have grief. Because grief is losing something you loved. It can be the death of a person or a pet. It can be the death of a relationship, huh, sweetie? Yeah, a broken heart. You could get a broken heart. That's a type of loss of something you loved. Sometimes people get a grief over getting fired. They love their job, and then, something happens, and they lose their job. And they actually go through the stages of grief. They start making, there's shock. Boss comes in with a letter in hand. Hey, remember how we've been talking about how our company is a family? Well, we're going to put you up for adoption. Here's your walk-in papers. And you get fired. And the first stage is, shock and then denial. You can't fire me. I quit. Or whatever. Then you go through the, period of deal making. It's like, okay, I'm going to sue those guys for, they can't fire me or whatever it is. And there's eventually a period of mourning. And, you end up with acceptance and transformation. Gashgaindamoan. Gage nin gashgaindamoan. Healing my sadness. So maybe I'll talk about like this, sweetie. I'll just tell my own story of overcoming sadness. You overcame sadness? Of course I did. Look at me, I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world looking down all these peons. Hey, baby, don't call the BOOZHOO crew peons. What about Nancy Schmancy? You could call her a peon. Well, good morning, peon. No, I'm just kidding. I BOOZHOO, Nancy Schmancy. Aha, I'm in Delaware for the week. It's almost 9 a.m. Oh, good. We're not too early for Gwen. I thought she was up early with us. You know, I come from a long line of fishermen. Sometimes we get up early. I'm usually awake by 4, honestly. I know, nobody believes that. It's because I have to pee every 2 hours. Well, you got to quit drinking so much water and have tea before we go to bed. Yeah, it's that probiotic tea, isn't it? I think so. Anyway, I got to heal myself from having to go to the bath. I mean, that's this old man stuff too. You're peeing constantly. Osita Wendam. So, oh, that poor little guy. Poor little Jagag. He's all sad. Let me pull this up. Sometimes when you're sad, sweetie, yeah, doesn't it feel like this? You're just a sad skunk. And it's just raining over your head. Yeah. And all you can do is sigh. Oh, woe is me. Ningash Kingdom. I'm sad. Ningash Kingdom. But then sadness would be, yeah, that's what Moen means. It's ness. Gosh Kingdom Moen. Grief. Good grief. What do you do? All right. Here are some of the stages of grief. You got to understand. This is for the kids. I know the grown-ups have been through enough loss. You know. Remember when Hillary Clinton lost the election? That sadness. No! Not Trump! Ah! You're watching all the ladies, blue-haired ladies crying in the streets. That was great. Anyway, Kage, healing. Because that's what it is. It's actually grief. I'm going to talk about 2 different things. There's grief, sadness from loss. That's a regular thing. And then there's depression, which is sadness from life. All right. To begin with, you got to give the word of the day. Oh, I should, huh? Today is Neo Gija Gud, the 4th day. Or what we call Thursday. Some of us call Thirsty Thursday. Or you go to the bar and you get a pitcher of beer with your boys. And you drink up and you have some good times. And you make some memories. Which is another classic thing Lenny would say. Okay, don't you start. Let's go make some memories. Anyway, so God, grief. Osi Dawendam. No, wait. Osita Wendam, to be sorrowful. Something happens. You probably already had something happen at some point in your life. Where you had something that was loved. Zagichigade. Zag is love, kind of. Gizake in means I love you. Zagichigade. It's great, is to be loved, to be greatly loved. Whether it's you or something else you loved greatly. I had a cat named Princess who passed away. And people who watch the show, they kind of know that we're sort of sensitive to to cats and Princess and that. You know, because when I lost Princess, I had grief. You know, and it was surprising to me. So first stage of grief, shock. I was surprised because I wasn't a kid, and it wasn't the first time I had known somebody to die. I had lost people very close to me, many, by this time in my life. But when my little cat died, I just fell apart. I couldn't, I was surprised. And then I was surprised that I could still be surprised by my level of grief. Osi Dawendam, grief. So something happens, somebody dies, or your husband cheats on you, or your wife cheats on you, or whatever. And you have grief. First thing, you get shock. and denial. You can't believe it. What? No, 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 no. Your cat's just sleeping. You know? She's not dead. But no. Then there's it takes a number of steps before you finally come to acceptance. You start making deals with God. That's what I did. I started praying hard. When Princess was dying, she wasn't dead yet, but I was like, please take her quickly. Take her without any pain. And I promise I won't. You're doing it, sweetie. I know. I promise I won't complain when I die if it's painful. And I don't know where I stand with that deal with God. I don't think God makes deals. Maybe he does. But it took 3 days for her to die. And I hate even thinking about it because it was so pitiful. It wasn't pitiful. It was just gradual. I don't know. But like I have buttons now. It's like I can make myself cry button if I just say certain words about Princess. So anyway, you go through the shock to the system. It's a type of insanity. You know? You can't think straight. See, I know what I want to say. Yeah. But if I say it, it's going to bum me out. Well, be very careful how you say it. Maybe if I say it with a southern drawl. Yeah, doing a southern drawl. Now listen, y'all. When you go through, what you call it? Grief. No, I can't do that. So, I was making deals with God, and you go through this grief. Oh, it's like you go crazy. Everything, all your priorities get flipped. You no longer care about the things you cared about the day before. Stuff that you thought was important. There's a bug in here. Just like that. The spring's not even here and those little beetles are back. I know. Speaking of death, I wish those beetles would die. I know, they get right in the house. How do they find us? I have no idea. But your priorities all change. You no longer care about the things you used to care about. In fact, it's the stuff that seemed so important right before your pet died suddenly seemed so insignificant you couldn't care less. Oh, I'm bouncing a check. What's that, bank? I don't have any money in my checking account. You think I care? You know, I couldn't care less because my pet died. And then you go through a period of, I guess it's depression, but you cry. It's grief. You're sorrowful. I can't tell stories of that day. So I'm not going to tell about my grief because it'll bum me out too much. So get you gotta be loved. Oh, and I didn't do it again, sweetie. Didn't do what? I didn't pull up the medicine wheel. But it's all connected. Grief is connected to love. That's why it's different than depression. It's a smack in the face awareness of your level of love for that thing when you lose it. You know, when people go bankrupt, they don't get grief. You know, they might be shocked and angry and disappointed. There's disappointment. That's different. But they don't love their money like they love their grandma. And so grief is, you know, the yin yang, the black and white, everything's got its opposite, light and shadow. Grief is the shadow of love. You know, you can say, "Oh, I'll always love my kitty, even though she's dead." Yeah, I know, you will, but you know, she's dead, and so now you also have this grief. Good news. Don't give up when you're in the middle of grief. Wise man will tell you, the number one, there's no time limit. Some people grieve for a weekend, stand up, dust themselves off, shake off, you know, and they march on, and we call these guys Ogichida. Yeah, they're warriors. You know, Ogichida Wug, they're warriors. You know, stoicism, and Anishinaabe man doesn't let his emotions, you know, drive his action. He's not a Will Smith, you know. But it might take a year. It might take 10 years. It might take 20 years. You don't know. But it doesn't have to take your whole life. Because throughout the course of dealing with grief, you're going to bounce back and forth from different stages of shock, anger, sadness, denial, deal-making, whatever they are. I don't even remember anymore. But you get to a point where there's acceptance and where there's also transformation. For a lot of people, especially artists and stuff, the period after a great loss, I know everyone thinks, oh, that's because they sacrifice somebody to the Illuminati before they become famous. Yeah, there's that too. But a lot of people, a lot of artists experience like an awakening. Their life changes, but then they change like a butterfly. Grief is like being a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. You know, you're crawling around thinking the world is one way, and then it puts you into a deep sleep. And you got to struggle to get out. And even once you get out, you know, a caterpillar doesn't just burst out of a cocoon and then fly away. Memengwa, they get out of that gooey, you know, thing, and then they lie there for a day, and they go, ugh, I'm trying to let the sun dry out their wings. They don't fly off, you know. That's what it's like recovering from grief. You got to struggle. You got to open the drapes, let the sun in again, and go ahead and recognize, yeah, I let the sun in. I'm not going for a jog just yet. But eventually you're going to pick up your nasty old tennis shoes. You're going to dig the sweats out of the dirty clothes hamper you still haven't, whatever. And you're going to go for a short run or a bike ride or something. And I know for me that in my life there was the chapter before Princess died and the chapter after Princess died. And so it's also, grief can be kind of a gift too. Here's one thing, sweetie. What's that? A lot of people are like, well, how do I heal from grief? What is my grief relief? Healing my sadness. How do I heal my sadness? Well, healing kind of implies that you go back to the way it was before. But it's more like healing from a knife wound. You're always going to have a scar. Now you got a scar you can talk about. But the healing happens, eventually you accept it. Eventually, you know, you dig a hole in the backyard and you put little pounce in the there, and you put a little popsicle stick cross. You say a little prayer for your puppy's soul. But then a new day starts. And little by little, that lump in your throat, it goes away. And you get a little more energy every day. But then notice, now you're living in a post-grief period. You remember, oh yeah, I had that, you know. You might even still have the same job and the same relationships, but you're living in a different world. You've just entered the Matrix or something. You know. So now, okay, and this is also good with depression. You might be at the very bottom. In the middle of your grief process, you might find yourself, you're going underwater. And you're just going down, getting drunk, crying around, you know, smoking cigarettes and drinking beer and playing video games and eating pizza and just wallowing in your sadness. But eventually you hit bottom. You hit rock bottom. That's a great place to be, because that's where you can get firm footing and push yourself off. You got to hit bottom. There's an old Irish saying. There's an old Kiss song. Yeah, there's an old Kiss song called Rock Bottom too. I can't wait a day. I don't care what you say. The Irish say, if you're going through hell, you know, go through it as fast as you can. Get to the other side. You know. I don't think that's an Irish saying. It's something like that. Gage nin gashkein demoen. Healing my sadness. So, number one, nobody dies. Actually, do people die from grief? Can you really die from a broken heart? I don't know. I guess you could commit suicide or something. Yeah. That's a issue for another show. Michael's also got a book called Suicidal Skunk, which I guess that word is we might get shadow banned for we're not supposed to say that word on YouTube. Is that right? Yeah, I hear other guys saying that. So this book hasn't sold that well. Hasn't it? No, I don't think it gets recommended. Grief Relief has sold a few. But Gagagay Ningashkain Moen, healing my sadness. But yeah, so some people, yeah, they think they're never going to get over it. Okay, so that's why I want to talk about this today. And that's why I kind of share some of my own weepy confessions. Confessions of a big old crybaby by None of BOOZHOO. Welcome to my show. Ah, sweetie. A lot of people, they give up halfway through the stages of grief. Some people say it's 5 stages. Some people say it's 10. How many stages you got in your comic book, Michael? I talk about 10 stages, but I also include, like, you know, recovery stuff. Yeah, okay. But there's stages of grief, and some people in the middle of it, it feels like it's always been that way. They can't remember ever being happy, and they think they'll never be happy again. And they write songs like, I know I'll never love this way again, so I keep holding on. You know, grief. But there's a transformation that takes place. Bad news is, no, actually, you don't get over grief. How about that? Hey, kids, welcome to my puppet show. You're never going to get over the loss of your grandma. But it'll be okay. And because you'll never be the same again. And it can be in a very good way. A lot of people really bloom, really come into their own. Something transforms when you go through the fires of grief. It's a baptism by fire. This is where, like, they say, I'm a sword forged in flame. This for a lot of you guys, you got to think about it like be a warrior. And the battle is your own sadness. I've heard it said before too that it's okay to take this seriously, by the way. Some people get embarrassed, Oh, I know he was just a dumb cat, but I shouldn't be crying around, It's like, no, it's okay. And also with depression. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't deserve to be depressed. I have such a good life. I'm so blessed. I'm such a jerk because I can't appreciate anything. I'm so sad all the time. Well, that's okay. When you're depressed or in grief and when you're in that depressed part of grief, you're no longer shocked, you're not making deals, now you're depressed. And this is before you've accepted that, the sun will come out again tomorrow. When you're depressed, it is a literal fight for your life. People will die fighting depression. It's like somebody's... It's like somebody is trying to hold your head underwater. And you got to fight. So, figured it out. And if I had a medicine wheel here, I'd tell you, you probably have the Nabooka win already. You probably have the wisdom, even if you're a kid, of what's good for you and what's bad for you. When you're fighting sadness, you're fighting darkness. You got to do everything that's light and good. So you got to eat good, healthy food. Not good tasting food. Sorry. You got to exercise. Even though you feel like just staying in bed all day. There's no way you can soothe yourself out of sadness. Nobody ever just lies on the ground and has one more beer, and it just took one more beer to finally get him out of his depression. It never happens. The depression subsides. You heal from it when you heal your body and your mind and your soul and your emotions. And this has been Healing My Sadness with NANABOOZHOO. Ah, sweetie, you gonna be okay? Nope. I don't know. I felt like I was supposed to talk about it today, so I talked about it. I'm sorry, you guys. I hope I'm not bringing anybody down. But whatever. A lot of channels on YouTube. La la. Grassroots Indians knows what I'm talking about. Okay, hey, I'm mad at. I'm mad at. Oh, he made it. Grassroots says, time heals everything. Yeah, it is time. Time is the great healer. Physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. But you got to quit re-injuring yourself. If you're depressed and you have grief, I mean, maybe some people don't know. You see on TV, oh, my boyfriend just broke up with me. This day has Haagen-Dazs written all over it. I'm just going to spend one day drinking wine and eating chocolate ice cream, says every jilted female. And does it really help? I don't know. I've never been jilted. I wouldn't imagine that you've ever been jilted. Have you been jilted? What is jilting? I don't know. You're using the word. I've been dumped. Have you been dumped? Yeah, I've been dumped. Did you eat ice cream and drink beer? Yep. Did it help? Kind of. For about 10 minutes. And then I was fatter and drunker than ever. And then sadder than ever. Yeah, that's a problem. If you get heartbroken, don't drink and eat ice cream. Because the beer is a depressant. It'll make you even sadder. And the ice cream will bring you up, but then the sugar crash will make you even sadder. It sucks, I know. But they say that, the cure for your problems are usually about a 5-mile walk away. Oh, the answer to everything you're dealing with here, that's 5 miles that way on the bike trail. Go 5 miles away, and by the time you come home, whether you bike there, or you walk, or you run, or you rollerblade. Dude, why don't people rollerblade anymore? I don't know. I think it got a bad reputation. Oh, because of, sodomy. Yeah. What was I talking about? Ice cream and getting drunk. Yeah. Depression. It sucks. The things you have to do to feel better. By the time you get back from that 5 miles, you're going to feel and think differently about what you thought your problems were. That's what I've learned in these brief few years I've been on this flat, motionless plane we call Aki. We call Mama Aki. Yeah. Time heals all wounds. And it takes time to walk down that 5-mile path and come back. Now you got 10 miles in. Your body's in better shape. Your mind has had time to ruminate and let it go for a second. Think about something else. You got some fresh air. If you're lucky and you could, hey, Millie June Thomas, miigwech. Got a super chat from Millie June Thomas. And a little black cat looks just like Bagheera. Hey, miigwech, Millie. Thank you so much. Super chats will cure depression too, huh? Yeah, pretty much. I think doing a live stream is the cure for depression. But then by the time you get back, and also if you're lucky and you have like a bike trail in the woods, like we've had, or we just walk out in the woods, then you get to connect with nature. You connect with Gichimanado. There's your spiritual. But make a plan. Write down something, go, okay. Of everything I understand right now, if I had a best friend who was going through what I was going through, what would I tell them to do? You got to pretend like your brain is the drill sergeant and your body is the private. And you tell your body how to get over depression. Say, okay, here's the plan. Guess what? Number 1, we're going to clean up this dump. I'm going to have to clean up. I'm going to vacuum all the cat hair from everywhere. I'm going to throw away the cat dish. I'm going to throw away the litter box. We don't need it anymore. I have plenty of photos and whatever. I don't need to keep every memory of, my dearly departed or whatever. But, make a plan and then stick to it. Okay, this morning we're going to go for a walk before breakfast. Even before coffee, how about that? Whatever it is. Because it's serious, You can't just ignore it and hope it'll go away. Because you'll be walking around with a limp. A lot of guys do this, You just suck it up. Which is good in some ways. For that first year. Anishinaabes have a ceremony called the spirit letting ceremony. Back in the days, they used to it'd take a lock of hair, somebody who died. You'd wrap it up in some red cloth or whatever. Keep it for a year. A year later, you can go and, release it into a river, maybe burn it up, I don't know, whatever your ceremony is. But you spent a year, and then after a year, the spirit letting is you're letting their spirit go. You're done grieving. That's something else to remember, you guys. We didn't invent grief with our generation. We come from a long line of people who've died. and known people have died. Human beings, Anishinaabe, have been dealing with grief since we've been dealing with life. I don't know. I think part of the answer is to connect with each other. Everybody knows a little bit about how to help each other. And maybe in that effort is part of kind of the cure. Hey, Mino Giga Jabe, Surrealist. Surrealist says, surviving heals things, but time is easier to spell. Yeah, that's what it means. Time, surviving. Yeah, just surviving. That's the other thing, by the way. You know, you got to treat yourself like a little brother sometimes. When you're in grief and depressed, sometimes there can be some hatred of the self. People will be like, oh, I hate myself. Oh, I hate me. You know, because it's hard to, when you're really sad, to be happy about anything. You don't appreciate anything. Here's the other thing. Gratitude is the antidote. There's another part. Put that on the list. You got to figure out how to feel grateful. You know, grateful. You want me to be grateful? I had that dog for 10 years. He was my best friend. And now you want me to be grateful? It's like, yeah. Yeah, but he was hit by a car. I'm not grateful. I hate that guy who killed my dog. And now I'm sad and in grief because my dog's dead. Well, but wait. Don't think of, you don't have to be grateful that the guy ran over your dog. Be grateful you had a best friend for 10 years. You know? Be grateful that you know what that kind of loyalty and, you know, unconditional love was like. Zagichi Gade, be loved. You know, for a lot of us, the thing is, when somebody dies, it's not that we love them so much and we miss them. It's that we knew we were loved by them so much that you go, oh, crap. There's less love in the world for me now. My grandma's dead. You know, she had like 50% of all the love in the world for me was in her heart. And now that heart stopped beating. I'm way less loved as a... Yeah, but she still loves you as a spirit. Yeah, I suppose. But, you know, you think crazy like that when you're in grief. I don't know. Do you want to get up here and give your 2 cents worth? Have you ever had any grief? Not for a minute. I'm happy-go-lucky. You're happy-go. Must be nice. Yeah, it's nice. I'm going to let Natasha get up here and give it a goo. But first, BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO will return after these messages from Blueberry Pie.
bashki mena sakani betu sechikani Bakwejikan Mena bashki mena sakani betu sechikani Bakwejikan Mena bashki mena sakani betu sechikani Bakwejikan Mena bashki mena sakani betu sechikani
BOOZHOO! How you doing? I just came down here to the holodeck. This place is pretty roomy, really. It's got a lot of storage space. So how you doing? Natasha Nindijanakas. Natasha is my name for anybody new. And, yeah. Gashgain de Moen. Gashgain in Gashgain de Moen. Healing my sadness. How does somebody heal from sadness? Mina bashki mina sakani Betu se chikani Bukwe shikan. I don't know. Now that I'm all by myself, I don't know what to say. Okay, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. What's going on? Well, I came down to the holodeck, but now I don't know what to say or where to go or what to do. You want to come back? Would you mind? Yeah, no, not at all. Hold on. I'm going to go back up. Okay, hang on. Scanning for your coordinates. Make it so, number one. No. Hey, I don't know what I was doing down there. Did you want to talk about grief and misery and sadness? Well, that's just it. Not really. You know, singing about blueberry pie kind of cheered me up. But I don't know. Grassroots says, awesome song. Well, me quetch. Grassroots likes the blueberry pie song. Hey, thanks a lot, Grassroots. Sure Realist says, self-discipline leads to success and higher self-esteem and opens a wider path to joy. Self-discipline is the warrior's way. Yeah, huh? It's the Okitchida way. Okitchida Bamadaziyan. Oh, for crying out loud, Sure Realist. Did she give us more money? Yep. She says Blueberry Pie is a fabulous song. We'd like to dedicate today's song to Sure Realist and her very generous super chat. Me Gwetch. Really appreciate it. La 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 la. We're in Junia. We're in the money. We got a lot of what it takes to get along. So yeah, but you know, she makes a good point. Self-discipline. So this is for the kids. All right? That's what I always get kind of... When I talk about this stuff, I especially don't want to talk down to anybody. Unless you're a kid. And then, listen up, Rugrats. But this is kind of for the kids. Should I go outside? Do you want to find a outside video? Yeah. Let me go someplace kind of beautiful and serene. Like those I missed that, what happened to that meadowy... Oh, the flowery meadow? Yeah, here it is. Sweetie, will you teleport me outside? I'm going to talk to the children about something. This is going to be Natasha's moment of Nubuakawin. Moment of wisdom? Yeah. All right, I'm going to put you out by those flowers. Okay, thanks, sweetie. One to teleport. No, I say that. Oh, right. One to teleport. Make it so, number one, sweetie pie. No. Yeah, this is much better. Boop. Okay, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. Did you make it out there okay? Yeah, I sure did. All right. Hey, we forgot to wear. Okay. Never mind. I'll give you a call when I want you to pick me up, okay? You got it. Over and out. Over and out. Boop. So anyway. Yeah. So think of me. This is me talking to little guys. You might be really little. Maybe you're a kindergartner. BOOZHOO! You might be a teenager. You might be in your 20s, 30s, 40s. By the time you get your 50s, I don't really outrank you anymore. But, these are just some things I've learned that maybe will be helpful to you if you ever go through, which you will for sure, grief. Not everybody becomes depressed. Almost everybody goes through some period of clinical depression just because we live in such a crazy time. But in the whole world, you don't have to become depressed. But if you ever love anything, and have ever been loved by anything, there's a good chance you can end up having some grief in your life. OJIBERISH, to be sad and sorrowful. Grief. Because nothing lasts forever. That's the one thing that never changes, is that everything changes. And it's tough for us as people to deal with that. We hate losing stuff. Things change. You know, eventually these flowers will all die. You know, this meadow won't be like this forever. You and I won't be like this forever. But the trick is to be cool with that. If you can accept it, you don't have to change it. You don't have to be sad about it. If you can accept it without having an emotion, because that's just a fact of life. The fact of life is that stuff changes. Water runs into the sea. Everything leads to something else. And it can be sad for a lot of people when they get older because they realize it's like, wow, I've got so many memories, good and bad. And the thing is, they've all gone away. The people I've loved, the people I've hated, my good times and my bad times. They've all flowed like the river into the sea. You know, it can blow your mind. But a weird thing that happens, I noticed with my elders, it's like by the time you get to your 70s and 80s, you stop being sad about it and you get happy again. People are much less depressed in their 70s than they are in their 30s for some reason. Even though like their bodies are breaking down, they've gone through a lot of grief. If you're doing well, which a lot of elders do, because you don't get that far in life without some wisdom. But I noticed with my grandma and my grandpa that they appreciated the simple things in life. They held on to the good memories. They let go of the bad memories. And they didn't wish for anything they didn't already have, really. You know, my grandma didn't want to one day become a movie star. You know, she wasn't hoping to win the lottery or anything. She was, oh, I'll be happy one day when I get to do blank. No, she was 83 years old. She was like, hey, give me a cup of toast. That'll make me happy. And sure enough, it did. You know. OJIBERISH is the other side of Zakichigade. The other side of being loved. You can feel that loss of love. When somebody who loves you dies, or somebody who you love betrays you, doesn't love you back, dumps you, stomps on your heart, That's grief, man. There's a reason why so many songs are written about breaking up. It's not just hard to do, it's heartbreaking. But that's grief. If you'd like to support the show, I didn't actually want to pull that up. Grief relief. There's Steven, got his hand on Jagog's shoulder. He's like, it's going to be okay. Look at this fake picture of the earth. Michael illustrated this comic book when he still believed the earth was round. But Michael also kind of became everything he wanted to be as a kid after his grandma and his cat died. I mean, they didn't die on the same day, or they were years apart. But Michael Lyons, the rockstar cartoonist, he wrote these comic books after his grandma died, because he wanted to kind of help kids deal with death, sort of. And then the weird thing was, while he was illustrating all these comic books and stuff, his cat, Princess, my cat, Princess, was on his lap. And then when Princess passed away, that's when we started the OJIBERISH, or when Michael started OJIBERISH. No, he didn't start OJIBERISH. Yeah, actually. That's when he started sharing it on Facebook. That's right. But it was almost kind of like our show, and then our show came out because of the comic strips. Sigh. Oh, I'm just so sad. This is raining. Whoops. Osita Windham. Sometimes I think the Great Spirit he'll carry you through your grief. So spiritually, let me say this to you little kids. Don't be embarrassed. Get on your knees, go out in nature, get on your knees and cry to God. Ask Him to help you. Connect with Him. I've even gone out and talked to the spirit of Princess. I don't know if she can hear me. But I've gone out, I was like, oh dear Princess, I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, just want to let you know that, I'm doing okay, blah, blah, blah. Thank you for being my cat, all this stuff. There's a lot of ways you can honor the memory. And that's kind of what our ceremonies are for. It's to honor the person, whether it's, a big funeral, or, if you go out and just pray, put out some tobacco, or if you write a song, maybe write a letter, maybe... Alright, I don't want this to get me all choked up. It usually does when I talk about this. But I should tell you. So we got a big fat black cat called Bagheera now, right? And I went a good 3 years, I think. Maybe 2 years. I can't remember anymore. Where I thought, I'm never having another cat again. I can't go through that sort of heartbreak. Forget it. All these dumb, stray cats can whatever. They can hunt mice in the fields for all I care. I'm not getting another cat. I can't take the heartbreak. But then, it was almost like a message from Princess's spirit came to me in a thought, in an inspiration, whatever. And it was like she said, you don't honor me by never getting over me. You know, the people and our pets who die, they don't want us crying around for the rest of our lives. That doesn't honor them. They don't go, well, I may be dead, but at least she never got over me. I must be pretty special. Look, she's still crying and she never got another cat. No. If you want to honor your cat, you got to go get another cat and give him a good life. So that's what we did with Bagheera. You know, we're like, well, we're going to go grab this old stray who's the exact opposite of Princess. I want a male, black, wild cat, social cat with big old claws. You know, healthy and young. Everything that Princess wasn't. Princess was white, female, sickly, shy. But I wanted to honor her by giving another cat a good life. And when I did that, that's what started healing my sadness. So it's gratitude and give it to somebody else. If you want to feel better, make somebody else feel better. I don't know if that's, go adopt another cat. Go visit, if let's say your grandma died, keep going back to the nursing home. Go visit somebody else's grandma. That'll make you feel better, believe it or not. What you do for others is kind of what you do for yourself, I think. You should be like, Missy, give us $5 super chat. Hey, Missy, be quiet. Thank you for the chat. It's a weird week. I teleported way out here to the beautiful flowery meadow so I could talk about grief and stuff. I don't know if you were here earlier. We were talking about Gagay Ningash K Damoan, healing my sadness. Grief relief. And I don't know if we really... I mean, on the one hand, I want to say, yeah, guess what? I'm going to talk about this. I'm an expert. You know? No, I didn't go to college for psychology. Don't be silly. I'm an expert because I know about grief and depression. I lost my kitty. I'll talk about what it's like to have your heart broken. Sure. I got a scar I can talk about. But this week, yesterday, I got kind of emotional thinking about friends from the 80s who've passed away, started their journey. And then today I thought we'd talk about grief relief. And I always end up talking about Princess. So I don't know. Anyway, so this is really for the kids. My last word for this moment of Natasha's Nabwakawin, moment of my wisdom, is what? Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. So saith Jesus of Nazareth on the Sermon on the Mount. It's in the Bible. Jesus said, you're blessed. If you're mourning the death of somebody, you will be comforted. If not here, in the land of everlasting happiness. That's what we call heaven. Gagigay Menawana Gozi winning. Gay winning. Gagigay Menawana Gozi gay winning. The land of everlasting happiness. I imagine it looks kind of like this meadow. I don't think heaven is like gold streets and clouds, pearly gates. That seems lame. I don't want to live in some old Romanesque cloud city. Oh yeah, it's like Star Wars. I'm gonna go live in the cloud city with Lando Calrissian. No, I think heaven's probably a beautiful, meadow of flowers. Anyway, so if you're dealing with the loss, just hang in there. Don't give up. Don't give up, 'cause you have friends. Don't give up, you still have us. Don't give up, 'cause somewhere there's a place where we belong. Rest your head. You worry too much. It's gonna be alright when time... Okay, BOOZHOO. Hi, sweetie. Hey, you ready to come home? Yeah, I think I better. All right. Hang on. Scanning for your coordinates. Okay. Don't move. I won't. 1 to teleport. Make it so, number 1. No. Hey, welcome home. Thank you so much. Did you cry? Not too bad. Don't tease me. I'm a delicate little flower. And I'm a lady. That's my prerogative. I can cry if I want. You're the one who's got to bottle up your emotions. Yeah, you're right. You want to send us out? All right. You want to add anything before I land this plane? Before I pull the plug on this puppy? You want to tell them about the books? Oh, sure. If you'd like to support the show, click the links below. And Michael has books for sale. Like BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO. Like Dog and Machine Gun. Oh, this is a good one. We haven't talked about this in a while. Counting to 10. It's another picture book. OJIBERISH, a collection of cartoons, and the Little Cutie story. Little Cutie is a story of a teddy bear who goes on a vision quest. That's included. I think it's a I don't know if it's in color in the... Oh no, it's in like that old style duotone, gibberish. But then he's also got a coloring book for sale. The rock star cartoonist himself. Yeah, don't buy that book. You don't want them to buy Rockstar Cartoonist? It's a comic book autobiography. This is the book Michael wrote about his own life. It's a comic book that every page follows 1 year in his life, having something to do with either the music he was into, the girls he liked, or your comic book or cartoon career. Yep. Why don't you want people to buy it? Because it's stupid. Then why don't you take it off of Amazon? It's got a great cover. It really does. That's a cool picture of you. Yeah. Rockstar Cartoonist is for sale if you're a crazy fan. Just want to buy them. Suicidal Skunk is a comic book about a skunk who's thinking about turning himself in. Or doing himself in. Grief Relief. Gay. Or it's Gosh Kinda Moen Gay. Grief Healing. These are the stages of grief. You got too many books, Michael. I know. A Mixed Blood. A story of a mixed blood. A bicultural girl. And much more. Not much more. Another book's not worth talking about. Okay. But anyway, on that note, miigwech bisandawieg. Thank you for listening. Dash miigwech ganawabieg. Thank you for watching BOOZHOO NANABOOZHOO, the podcast about Ojibwe language and culture. I am Natasha. This is NANABOOZHOO. Okay, miigwech. This is the rock star cartoonist, Michael Lyons. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. And I will see you again. Gigawabamin. Minawa. Hawa. Alright, baby doll. One to teleport. Make it so. Sweetie pie. Sweetie pie. See you tomorrow. It's not working. Remember, you gotta tickle the wire.